Hey everyone, welcome to Hart Academy for October 4th, 2016. This is Mrs. Hart. Again, I'm having a little bit of computer problems because I'm not using my own computer. I'm using the school's computer, so it means I don't have a camera, so you can't see me, but I'm pretty sure that you can hear me. So probably don't want to see me anyway, but that's okay. So tonight's homework was integers for multiplying and dividing integers, and so I'm going to do a section of your problems for you. I'm going to start with a division page, okay? So I'm going to do division page, and this is the part that I'm going to do for division, and then I'm going to go ahead and do some problems from the multiplication so I can minimize your homework and also to help you figure out and remember what to do when we are multiplying and dividing integers. Okay, so here we are, starting with number 7. Remember, this fraction also means division, okay? Because fractions and division are pretty much the same thing. What I want to do is figure out how many times the bottom number goes into the top number. And if you're not sure, you can always use a multiplication chart to help you, okay? So again, you're figuring out how many times the bottom number goes into the top number. So it's basically saying this. This is the same thing as saying this. How many times will 15 go into 75? Don't worry about the integer rule just yet, because remember, the integer rules for multiplication and division are a lot easier than they are for adding and subtracting, okay? So first I'm going to figure out what the answer would be, what the digit would be for the answer. So to use a multiplication chart, I'm going to go into the row with a 15, and then I'm going to go to 75. So 15 will go into 75, how many times? 5 times. Okay, so I know that my answer here is going to be a 5. Okay, so my answer here is going to be 5. Now, figure out if it's a negative or positive 5. We follow the rules. We have a negative divided by a positive. So if you look at your integer sheet, a negative divided by a positive or positive by a negative, right? Your answer is going to be negative. So again, when it comes to multiplying and dividing, the rules are exactly the same. The only time you see a negative answer is when you are mixing a negative and positive together. So if you have positive divided by a positive or negative divided by a negative, both your answers will be positive, just divide. Same thing with multiplication. It's only when you're mixing negative and positive you will get a negative answer. Okay, so now I know that this answer right here is going to be a negative 5. So for number 7, you should have negative 5 for that answer. All right, we're going to move on to another one. Let's see. I'm going to go over to number 8. All right, here we go. So this time I have 14 will go into 56. So again, you can use your multiplication chart. 14th column, how many times does it go into 56? There it is. Answer is going to be 4. So I know that this is going to be 4. Is it positive or negative 4? Well, you have a negative divided by a negative. Look at your rules. Negative divided by negative. Answer will be negative. Just divide. So I'm going to keep that as a positive 4. Boom. Done. Moving on to the next one. My next one, I have 17 will go to 102. 17, 102. My answer is 6. So this answer, 6. Positive or negative 6, I have a negative divided by a positive. A negative divided by a positive, or positive divided by a negative, my answer is negative. So this will be a negative 6. And number 10, again, this is a time where you should be pausing, doing it yourself, and check and see if you come up with the same answer. I know some of you are just waiting for the answers to come on, but remember you got to do the rest of them and your test by yourself. How many times is 4 going to 72? Take a look. 4, 72, 18 times. So I know my answer here will be 18. Is it positive or negative 18? A negative divided by a negative, I can tell you, it's positive. See? Negative divided by a negative, answer is positive. Positive 18. Looking at number 11. 17 will go into 153. Notice we changed from the fraction look and have gone to the division symbol, okay? This is saying the same thing as this, or this. Just want to make sure that we are clear. All three of these things say the same thing. How many times 70 going to go into 153? So I can go into my 17 column. And I'm going to look for 53. 153. There it is. 9. There we go. 17 will go into 153 9 times. And my answer will be positive because a positive divided by a positive is a positive. Number 12, how many times with 3 will go into 12? You can look in the chart, or you may already know. That's going to be 4. My answer here is going to be negative 4 because positive divided by a negative is a negative. 6 will go into 48 how many times? Look in your chart if you need to. If you do, you realize the answer is 8. And a positive divided by a positive, your answer should remain positive. And now, for number 14, I have negative 20 divided by negative 120. So how many times is 20 going to go into 120? I'll take a look on the chart with you. I'm going to go down to my 20 column, going to see how many times it goes into 120. My answer is 6. Okay? Negative divided by a negative. Let's take a look at the chart. Negative divided by a negative. My answer should be positive. So I will keep that as a positive 6. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Those are all the division problems I'm going to demonstrate for you. So now let's bring out multiplication. Oh yeah. Multiplication, I'm starting with number 29. That means you have to do the rest. And remember, we also did some of these in class, so it shouldn't be that bad. Disgusting. The drink I'm drinking is horrific. Why am I drinking it? Because it has caffeine. Duh. All right, excuse me. So now, remember the rules for multiplication are the same as division. Positive times a positive is a positive. Just multiply. Negative times negative, also positive. Just multiply. Anytime you are mixing negatives and positive, like negative times positive or positive times negative, your answer will be negative. So the only time you should end up with a negative answer is when you're mixing the two. Like this. Positive times a negative. I know my answer will be negative. I just had to figure out what 12 times 12 is. Again, you can use your chart, no calculators. 12 times 12. Excuse me. 12 times 12. Ta-da! 144. Okay? So I know this answer is going to be negative 144. Let's go over to number 30. 11 times 6. 11 times 6, you should get 66. Is it going to be a positive or negative 66? You have a positive times a negative, which always will give you a negative. Okay, I know some of you guys are scared of these because they have 3 in a row, but let's not freak out, shall we? Let's just do 2 at a time. You get 6 times negative 5. 6 times negative 5 is 30, negative 30, because your positive times negative. All you do next is bring down the rest. So I'm going to multiply that with a positive 3. Okay? 3 times 30 will give you 90, and it should be a negative 90. Because you have negative times a positive. Negative 90. Going over to number 32. Do the first 2. 6 times negative 1. That'll give you negative 6. Bring down the rest. That's supposed to be my arrow, by the way. 6 times 2. I know that's 12. And it's going to be a negative 12. Because you have negative times a positive. 6 times negative 8. Okay? 8 times 6. Actually don't know that fact. 8 times 6 is 48. So negative 48, bring down the rest. So now I have negative 48 times 3. Okay? Now, I know you're probably thinking, oh my God, this is hard. 48 is not in my multiplication chart. You do realize you can do it the other way. Look at the 3 columns and find 48. I got a 3. I'm going to find 48. Answer is 16. Okay? So I have 16, 3 times 48, 8 times 6, and 8 times 6. 8 times 6 was 48, so I did that part. Negative 48 times 3. Okay, 48 times 3. All right, is that going to work backwards? Let me find out. I'm starting to think that's not going to work. I don't know why I said that. Hold on, guys. So there's no 48 because our chart doesn't go that high. So I'll look into the 3's and find 48. Well, what I get? Now, if I do it backwards, it's like division. that was incorrect. So it's not going to be 16, is it? No. So I'm going to have to do this by hand. Oh my goodness, we have to do a multiplication problem by hand. There it is. 8 times 3 is 24. 4 times 3 is 12. 13, 14. 144. Okay? Sorry about the whole backwards thing. I don't know why I said that. So I know that this is going to be 144, but it's going to be positive or negative 144. Negative times a negative is a positive. So I will leave it at positive 144. All right. So next. Oh, 35. Okay, let's go down to number 35. Do 2 at a time. 3 times 3. That doesn't look like 2 at a time. I can make that a little neater. There you go. 3 times 3 is 9. Bring down the next one. 9 times negative 1. I like to cross it out to make sure I'm done. That would be negative 9. Bring down the next one. 9 times a positive 3. Negative 9 times a positive 3 will give you negative 27. And going up to number 30. I think I did that one. Right. And let's do this one. Okay. 6 times a negative 1 is a negative 6. Bring down the rest. Negative 6 times 2 will give you negative 12. Okay. Now I have negative 3 times 6. That's going to give you negative 18. Bring down the next. Negative 18 times negative 6. Okay. Use the chart if you need to. This should give you 108. And then, let's see. Negative times a negative is a positive. So it should remain a positive 108. 108. Okay. I'm checking to see if that's right. 18 times 6. Because, you know, sometimes I don't do my math right. 18 times 6. Ah, it is. 108. It's right here. Okay. Now I feel confident enough to move on to the next one. And last one. Number 36. Well, that's what I'm going to do for you. Okay. Negative 3 times a positive 3 is going to give me a negative 9. Multiply this with the next negative 3. That's going to give me a positive 27. And then I'm going to multiply with that last negative 3. 27 times 3 is 81. Negative times a positive is a negative. So negative 81 is the answer that I have for here. Okay, guys, that's it for today. And sorry for the mistake and a rush job, but I'm pretty confident that everyone is okay with what we're doing in class with this. Try your best, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.